Jesus goes into this hyperbolic, if you will, example, this exaggerated example of using body parts to explain what needs to happen to anything or anybody that could potentially cause you to miss the mark. He says, if your foot causes you to sin, cut it off. He says, don't be a part of anything that causes you to go the wrong way. It was the late Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays, former president of Morehouse College, who said, I would rather go to hell by myself than to go to heaven being in the crowd. Jesus gives us three examples, and I'm almost done. He uses the hand, he uses the foot, and he uses the eye. Don't miss this now. Now, scholars have suggested you all that these three examples are used metaphorically, but also to a certain degree they're used literally. Stick with me now. In other words, the eye can get you in trouble if you look and you lust. Because you know you got to look at it before you go after it, don't you? He says the eye gets you in trouble if you look and you lust. Then he says the hand will get you in trouble because the hand can be used to commit murder. Watch this. Then he says the foot is used to walk. So metaphorically, the foot speaks to direction. Let the church say direction. Here is the question. What way are you going? So watch this. I had to start back in verse number 38 with John, is because if you put that in context, Jesus is warning, watch this, and then it is propelled by John's statement that the foot could possibly be a disciple. Don't miss this now, because even somebody that's in the church could be a foot that needs to be cut off. Speak, Holy Ghost. Don't ever assume that just because they're in the church, they're going in the right direction. And listen, since I'm here, I'm going to talk to the grown folk real quick. You done got too old to still be searching for direction in your life. You've gotten too old to still be looking for direction in your life. Once you reach a certain age, you ain't lost. You just want to be lost. Hello, somebody. That walking into a bad situation can be bad to you and bad for you. Because you do know it's easier to get into a thing than it is to get out of a thing, don't you? I wish I had some praying folk in here. Anybody honest enough to admit that it was easy getting into it, but it was hard getting out of it? Talking to the grown folk now. Anybody here like Pastor Davis? Do you ever find yourself saying, Lord, if I could do it all over again? Anybody ever said that? Lord, if I could do it all over again. If I could do it again, I never would have gotten into it. If I could do it again, I never would have fooled with him in the first place. If I could do it again, I never would have gone there. But God told me to tell you, I let you go there. I let you hook up with him because it was all about my glory. If it had not been for that, you wouldn't pray like you pray. If it had not been for that, you wouldn't worship like you worship. If it had not been for that, you wouldn't be saved right now. If it had not been for that, you wouldn't even be alive right now. He says, cut it off. Now the foot is attached. It ain't just out there by itself, baby. The foot is attached. So what Jesus is saying is, you've got some attachments that aren't good for you. And it's going to be painful to sever that attachment. But it's going to be worth it in the long run. Let the church say attachment. You know people that you talk to every day that ain't going anywhere. Folks that you deal with ain't doing anything. Let the church say attachment. People that are dragging you down to their level. You used to have drive. You used to have initiative. You used to have goals. You used to embrace excellence as the standard. But now you've allowed somebody to get attached to you and take you in the wrong direction to the point where helping them is hurting you. You can be concerned for them without being responsible for them. Let me ease up here again. I say you can be concerned for them and not be responsible for them. Move out your mama house. You grown. You work every day. Should nobody have to pay your bills? You grown. Hello, somebody. I know it, because part of our problem is we get so wrapped up in being concerned about folk that we handicap folk. You got to let grown folk be grown. And the reason you want to be grown is because mama not going to live forever. Daddy not going to live forever. And when they're gone, what are you going to do? You got to learn how to do some stuff for yourself. He says, cut it off because it would be better to enter into life lame. Cut it off. Because it would be better to enter into life lame. Cut it off. Because it would be better to enter into life lame. Here it is. You can be lame and still have your life. Okay, you didn't get it yet. Listen, that means you don't have as much money as somebody else has got. You're not driving what everybody else is driving. Your house doesn't look like everybody else's. You broke up with your boo last week and you just found out now they're engaged. Hello, somebody. You're lame, but you still got life. You see, every now and then, instead of being mad about what you ain't got and what somebody else got, you ought to thank God that you still got life. Is there anybody you're thankful that you still got life? You lost your job, but you got life. They lied on you, but you got life. Your relationship is in trouble, but you got life. Your bills are behind, but you still got life. Look at somebody and say, I got life.
Website. There you will find information on how to obtain a copy of today's teaching in its entirety. Dr. Christopher Davis, Senior Pastor of St. Paul Baptist Church in Memphis, Tennessee. Dr. Davis invites you to worship service at St. Paul, located at 2124 East Holmes Road, just west of Airways Boulevard in Memphis. Thank you for tuning in today.